What's up, guys? Tech and Thailand. Today we're going to be taking a look at this really interesting fluorescent fixture that was made by GE. Now, I'm not too sure when they made these fixtures, like when the start of them was till the ending of production for them was. I want to say it was somewhere between maybe the 80s into the 90s, and then they stopped very early 2000s. I'm not 100% sure. But I saw these fixtures every now and then growing up as a kid in houses, um, but it was very uncommon, and I always thought the way that they looked was pretty interesting because they didn't look normal. And then ended up finding out how they were actually designed and made and the way they worked. I was like, oh, well, that's really weird, because it is actually very weird that GE would design a fixture like this. And they had a couple of different variations of these lights. So you had the Blacklight, which is this one. You also had the normal fixture version that the fixture wasn't black, it was like white or tan, I want to say. And I think that you could get these in the, like I said, the Blacklight version, a warm white version, a cool white, and a daylight version, I think. And the interesting fact about this fixture is that this fixture is designed to where it's non-repairable. You cannot replace the bulb in this. You can't replace the starter in it because this is preheat, which is really cool. But you cannot replace any of these parts in this light. This fixture is designed to where if the starter goes bad in it or if the bulb goes bad in it, that you throw it away. You cannot replace any of these pieces in it. And if we take a look at the fixture on the side here, you can see there's glue all on the bottom of it right here. And that's because this bulb is glued to the base here, and where the end caps are, there's no sockets. But if you kind of pull back this a little bit, you can see the end of the bulb there, but they have wires, copper wires, that go actually through the base of this fixture back and forth. And so the bottom of this actually is what's acting as a ballast. And I think in one of the end caps there's a capacitor too to help it make it work as well. But there is a starter in it at one of these ends. It might be at the end where the plug is, I think. Not too sure. I haven't had many of these fixtures. This is the only one I've ever actually had that was in really good condition. Every other one I've had were in really bad condition, where they were really yellowed, or they didn't work, or they were broken in some form. So when I came across this fixture, I had to get it because I immediately knew what it was when I saw it, and it's practically brand new. It doesn't have, unfortunately, like the little clips that you would use to mount it with, but it had the original cord with it, and it worked. So to find this in general was pretty surprising. If we take a look at the end here, we can see it says General Electric and where they're based out of. You can see the UL listing stickers, made in Mexico. And if you look at the one end here, this is where it plugs in at, and the other end is what has the logo on it. Now it has a really cool logo, which it's kind of hard to show it in the camera. I can't really angle it too well to get a good look at it because of the tripod, but let me kind of finagle it here a little bit to where we can get a look at it. There we go. As you can tell, it says Bright Stick on it, and it has the older GE logo. Now I know with a lot of things from GE back in the day, they for some reason stamped the older logo onto newer stuff. I don't know why they did that, but it was a common thing I noticed for a while that they did on some of the stuff I would get. Not too sure why that was a thing. So it is possible that, you know, the older logo got stamped on it, but if you look at that way how the font is, it's like that 70s psychedelic look. So maybe they were just trying to keep the theme of the 70s with it, but I don't think these were made in the 70s. I think these were only made between maybe 80s to 90s, like I said. I'm not 100% sure. But another little funny thing about the name Bright Stick is this is the original Bright Stick that GE made, and then years back, GE ended up coming out with LED bulbs that they named Bright Stick as well, which I thought was really funny because they kinda, in a way, the shape of them and how they're designed resemble these fixtures a little bit, not by much at all, but I can see where they were trying to use the same concept to an extent on it. But I just thought it was really funny that after all these years they came out with LED bulbs and used the Bright Stick name for it, whereas, like I mentioned, this is the original Bright Stick. Now, this is a F20 T12 bulb that's in this. So it's not a T8, it's a T12, which I'm surprised that they did that for a fixture like this as well. I don't think they made versions of the Bright Stick that had that was an F15 or like a T8 version at all ever. I think they only made these in the like the F12 versions. I mean the T12 versions. So I think it only was for this design. I don't think they made any other variants of this. It was only just this type of design where, like I said, you could have the Blacklight or the warm white, cool white daylight. I've only ever come across the warm white ones, really. Never a cool white version, and even the Blacklight ones are hard to find. So I was surprised to find this, and I've had this now in my collection for years. It just kind of sits on the shelf with a bunch of other fixtures because I don't want to use this, because I want to keep this to where it works and not burn this out, because I have plenty of other fixtures I can use as Blacklights if I wanted to, but just to have this in my collection is really, really unique. And like I said, since this is one of those lights where you just buy it, use it until something breaks or burns out in it, and then throw it away as a bummer, because it'd be cool to, you know, open it up and show it off. And I tried repairing one of these once, and it did not go well, because, like I said, these are not repairable. You break them in the process. But I ended up taking it after trying to fix it and just kind of dissected it a bit just to see how it ran, and that's when I learned that the bottom little piece here is the ballast, and then there's a capacitor at one end and then a starter at the other end. And I already have it plugged in, so I can switch it on here and we'll see it working. It's got a little rotary switch on the cord end, and it just plugs in, and you cut it on, and it works perfectly fine. The light, it works like a normal, you know, magnetic ballast light would, but it's not magnetic though. In a way, it's like I said, it's got coils on the bottom to pretend it's like a magnetic ballast, but it doesn't actually have a true ballast in it. So it's very interesting how they designed it the way it is and how it works. I wish I knew exactly how it works, but then again, all a ballast does, or some sort of I'm stumbling on words here, sorry, but yeah, just the way how like a ballast works, or something to restrict the power. They came up with a way to, you know, take the normal 120 volts and make it have some resistance to it, to drop it, to lower it, to produce whatever voltages that it needs to run one of these bulbs. So it's a very, very interesting design, and a lot of, you know, work actually went into making these. It's a shame that, you know, they're not repairable and that you just throw them away. But like I said, it is preheat, so if I turn it off and cut it back on, we can see every now and then it might blink on a little bit, but very rare for it to be kind of blink happy. But that's just due to the fact that it's not a true magnetic ballast. But you can hear the starter in it when you cut it on and off. So it's really cool. It's a really cool, design and idea that they did, but it's just not a good one, because it feels very wasteful. It feels very wasteful for them to make these and then just to throw them away. But hey, these companies, you know, they'll do anything and make whatever they can to make more money on a product if they can. So this, I guess, was their idea, and it definitely didn't last long, that's for sure. So that's why it's really hard to try to find these Bright Sticks. But when you do find them, it's very uncommon, and, you know, it's not common to find them working or just in general. So the fact that I mentioned a couple of times that I managed to get this one is super unique, super cool. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video talking about the interesting facts of the GE Bright Stick light, and talk about how it works and how it's made, and just the overall weirdness of the idea behind this fixture. But yeah, just stay tuned for more videos that are coming out like this. I have a lot of stuff to make videos on, so just keep an eye out for new videos, and like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, thank you.